The devil might just be the last.
Now, Minthara. Can I help it if I'm too tempting to refuse?
Explain yourself. Or is your tongue too scorched from exploring that hellhole to form words? More than a little. I would love to see her naked body bound to yours by barbed chains as you both bleed out in a spider pit.
It's funny seeing you so smitten, Minthara. Didn't think you were able.
I took my first lover before you were a spark in your father's eye, child.
Oh, go on.
She was a high priestess of House Vandry. Beautiful, elegant, ruthless. I adored her, and had been sharing her bed for some time when the order came that she must die. I stayed with her while the poison did its work, and whispered words of comfort as she slipped away.
Oh, no.
Listen. Think. What does the drow miss most about the Underdark?
Not just siblings. Androcide, senicide, avuncularcide. I only regret I left before enjoying a matricide. That would be a memory to cherish. Praise the Absolute! She will reward us well for this exquisite carnage. There were few left alive. You began the slaughter without me, I assume. You are almost worthy to live among drow. Fairy. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? The wizard? No. Don't sulk. I admire your mastery of the weave, but I have known many wizards. In my experience, they do not usually live long enough to make the effort of befriending them worthwhile. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic.
But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
Wizard, was your brain entirely liquefied during the battle? The fight is over. It's time to move on. Do you have elder siblings, Wizard?
About to say something awful, aren't you?
In Menzoberranzan, after a house has 2 sons, every subsequent male-born child is slaughtered at birth, as it is useless, even for breeding. You have the aura of a 3rd child about you.
One killing secures your rebirth as an unholy assassin of Baal.
Civilian, do not listen to this ancient fuck! Free me at once!
Feisty little creature. If you hold it down, I will slice off its trunk. Baal should be begging me to join his ranks. There is yet one thing about you that troubles me, though. Something I need you to explain. When we killed the tieflings at the Grove, I was not in control of my actions. You do not have that excuse. So I ask you, why? Why kill them? I'm flattered. Will you be bringing dead rats and birds to my tent now that we share camp? Must we talk? The heat is unbearable. My mouth is as dry as a dust devil. I do not understand why the matrons, patriarchs of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. The weak and the elderly, perhaps. The young would be better used as a labor force than as a source of nutrition. Murder, oppression, conspiracies. This city has its charms, after all. If you cannot see the appeal of bloodshed and danger, perhaps you should retire from adventuring and farm root vegetables for the rest of your days.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. But, I don't know where to go.
The child ignores you. Would you like me to dispose of her?
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? I met you before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
I would rather share my camp with goblins again. I will never tire of sitting on dead men's thrones.
It's not a lie! If you would just listen, I can explain!
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothan Gadan.
This promises to be an amusing spectacle. Let us see if death can silence Volo at last.
Well, there are two of us, aren't there? Use your imagination.
I don't like to share. Lay a finger on them, and I'll cut you. I was talking about cutting you. What fun I would have if I could play with Will, as Minthara does.
Bring the one you love to me. I will look into your hearts and see if your love is eternal or doomed eternally.
No. And if you refer to me as my dear again, I will cut out your tongue.
Now I'm free of Raphael's blasted contract. I can return to the front lines.
We are unstoppable. I feel like we could conquer the hells. While she lives, Orin will continue to terrorize us, and soon she will make good on her threats. She thinks we are weak, afraid, vulnerable. We need to prove her wrong. I am not on edge. I am alert, as you should be too. Orin could be anywhere. Could be anyone.
Despite her protestations to the contrary, it is clear that Minthara is afraid.
You see through my Minthara mask, pretty little flesh thing. A joke. I am no more Orin than you are.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Murdered by my son.
Shameful to be killed by your own son. That honor should fall to a daughter.
If this adventure has taught me anything, it's that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. Besides, growing quite fond of this merry band of ours, but I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Mistra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
That's the wisest idea the wizards had yet. Just give the word and I will kill the clown. We would be praised as heroes.
You, my special assistant. Come on up.
Am I indeed? Perhaps I will tell my favorite joke. It is about you bleeding to death.
Oh, my heart! The enthusiasm is too much! Now, up, double sharp, or poor Buddy will think you don't like him.
It was a beautiful webbing